What's up, guys? This is Chris here, and today we are out here in the middle of the North Pole talking about concealed carry. Today we're going to go over what I carry in the winter because it is a little bit different than what I carry in the summer. Now, in all fairness, traditionally my summer EDC stays almost exactly the same and very rarely ever changes, so when it does, I tend to give an update. My winter carry, however, changes fairly frequently because winter allows me to wear bigger, baggier clothes. It allows me to carry a little bit bigger gun here and there, and allows me to diversify my concealed carry a little bit. Now, we're going to go through what I carry today, how I carry it, and why. But another thing I do want to mention is, should you diversify your carry? And the answer is maybe. I actually carry several different firearms because I shoot several different firearms per week. So even though I carry a couple different guns here and there, it doesn't mean that I pick it up out of the safe and shoot it without practicing. I shoot a lot more than most people, so it is a little bit easier for me to bounce back and forth between which gun. But even then, when I do bounce back and forth, I almost always do it in a platform I'm familiar with. Like, I might switch up what M&P I carry, but I still carry an M&P. I might switch up what 2011 I carry, but I still carry a 2011, etc. So that being said, let's get into it with the first gun that I carry during the winter. We'll talk about the gun that you guys already know, and that is going to be the Bodyguard 2.0. The Bodyguard 2.0 has been a big summer carry gun for me, and it continues on into the winter in a specific application, and that is basically when I go to the gym. I go to the gym a couple times a week, and when I do that, I actually have to go a pretty big distance. I live in the middle of nowhere, so to go to a gym I want to go to, I usually drive 30 to 45 minutes depending on traffic and weather conditions, in which case I'm usually wearing basketball shorts or joggers or something like that. So I want something that I can carry really nice and easy. I tend to stop at gas stations and stuff, high risk areas, so I want to have a gun regardless of whether I have comfortable clothing for it or not. And this system really works out for me. I actually carry this in two different holsters. This holster right here, which I like because it's green and I can easily see, and then my regular Bodyguard actually runs in a G code, which I've been carrying a lot more lately, but this is just the one I had, so this is the one I'm going to show you. This is my Bodyguard Performance Center Carry Comp, and this one actually has the compensator on it, which I'll show you here real quick. Now, this guy, I always carry the 12 round magazines just because I like the draw a little bit better, and it doesn't seem to be big enough to print any more or any less, so I like the bigger grip. I've been carrying SIG, Elite, and these hollow points seem to work really well. Back in the day when I used to go to Mr. Guns all the time, when I lived on the other side of the state, they did a gel test and a barrier test and lots of different tests on this SIG ammo that I got to witness, and it works extremely well. It seems to hit soft tissue really well and do a huge amount of damage. I like the 380 and I like the 9mm. That is the ammunition I moved over to from Critical Duty or Critical Defense, both of which I still carry here and there. But now when I buy new stuff, I buy the SIG stuff. That being said, SIG's a company that I'm kind of iffy on supporting these days because of a variety of reasons, although they do make solid ammunition, so here I am carrying it anyway. The Bodyguard 2.0, the reason why I carry it, I've mentioned this in several videos, very small, very lightweight, and it's very, very thin. 3/4 of an inch thin, 12+1 capacity, so good rounds, easy to shoot this gun, super good trigger, good sights out of the factory, and nothing requires any change, which I really, really like. So Bodyguard 2.0 for niche gym carry and for summer carry when I don't want to print very much. Honestly, this would be a good all-around carry gun. A lot of people say don't carry a 380. I'm not of that opinion. If you can shoot it well and you can hit what you're aiming at, I think it's just fine. And it's certainly better than the gun you leave at home. Usually when people say you shouldn't concealed carry, they recommend you carry like Glock 34 or Staccato P or some shit like that. And then when you meet that person in real life, not only do they not have the 380, but they don't have the 9mm either. They don't have anything, and they just spout on the internet. I've noticed a lot of people who carry guns consistently. They have a tendency to carry small guns, so by all means, get your freak on with your 380. Now, the gun I really wanted to talk about in this video is going to be a gun that's been winning me over a lot more lately, and that is going to be my Staccato CS. This is my Staccato CS. It's my winter carry gun. It's actually riding in my new holster, and today we're going to be testing it out a little bit, shooting it, and see why I like it so much. They discontinued this model, and now I guess in defiance, I'm carrying it more. I'm not really sure. As a matter of fact, I placed an order for a second one today because I wanted two of them. When I carry a gun consistently, I almost always have two. I have two pimped out shields, I have two Staccato CSs, and I have two Bodyguards. The reason for that is because, I don't know, I like to have two. I like to have one backup one. Two is one and one is none, I guess. Maybe that's crazy, but that's just my opinion. It's my concealed carry setup. I don't carry them both at the same time, but I do like to have two in case I want to take one to the range, beat the shit out of it, and then have one in a little bit better shape for concealed carry, since I'm not exactly the world's best at maintenance. I'm not exactly exactly a guy who likes to clean a gun every 500 or 1,000 rounds. So shoot 1,000 or 2,000 through my concealed carry gun, shoot 50 or 100 every once in a while, and beat the shit out of its twin brother. Now, this gun here, I'm actually bought a second one because I'm going to get a little more work done to it. This one has a single port comp done by Skip's Guns, and then he also, I believe, did the trigger as well. And this one has Atlas Gunworks trigger in it. I didn't change the pull weight or anything like that. And the reason for that is I want to make sure this gun stays in the proper safety configuration that it's in, especially because I appendix carry this on a regular basis. So I like that it has the duty 3.5 pound trigger as opposed to like a light 2 pound trigger. I shoot them about the same once I get used to it. I just like the trigger bow. It fits my finger a little bit better. It's a little bit longer, and I just like the medium length flat bow. That's what Skips did for me, and then the main work that he did for me is this single port comp here. If I'm not in 100% shining fashion, I'm slowly freezing to death before your eyes. But he just did a single port comp up there, which dramatically reduces the recoil on this already extremely fast shooting gun. Now this holster actually works for my Staccato CS and for my Staccato C. You can see here it rides a little bit deeper. If you don't like that, you can always chop that off with a Dremel. One of the things I like about it is the wing. The wing actually sticks your gun in a little bit, so it hides it a little bit better for me. And this holster has a really, really good trigger guard. A lot of times holsters come over the trigger guard, and I can't draw very well like that because I like to actually get my index with my middle finger here. And if it's too small of a space, I can't get the index I want. And then when I bring the gun out of the holster, the gun actually has to be moved around a little bit in my hand. Whereas this gun, I can grab it right away. It's a really quick and easy draw, and it guarantees I'll get a handle on the gun, especially if I'm like grappling or something like that. We have the co-witnessing iron sights, so if the dot goes down, I still have the iron sights, which I literally used yesterday because the battery died. Now the Staccato CS, if you're not familiar, is probably the smallest 2011 that you can buy in the market. Well, you used to be able to. You can't buy it anymore because for whatever reason, Staccato discontinued it. They must have spent too much money on Max Michel, and they don't have enough money to produce their best gun. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, this is the best gun Staccato makes, in my personal opinion. I like the XC. I like the P45. I love Staccato as a company. They are very reliable, very durable 2011s. They give me all the shootability I need, and I've never had a big reliability issue with any of these guns. Super small, super lightweight, 3.5-inch barrel, I think, and then you get a 15-round magazine. So even though this gun is a 2011 pistol with a 15+1, which is the same capacity you get Glock 19, it's actually a hair smaller than the Glock 19. So the slide's going to be thinner, and then the slide is also going to be shorter, and the grip is about the same. It shoots better than a Glock 19, also in my personal opinion, but I'm a 2011 guy, so there is that. Super lightweight, super shootable, but extremely expensive. These guns are about $2,500 for the optics ready version, so they are not for the faint of heart. If you don't have $2,500, you can buy 6 of these for the same price. Just as good of a carry gun. And in all fairness, they carry my shield all the time. My shield's $500. You can buy 6 shields for this too. So if you don't want to pay for that, you're going to put it in the comment section, that's too much money for a handgun. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. It shoots really well. For a 2011, it's very comfortable to carry the Staccato CS. It's crazy. My life doesn't have a dollar amount on it, so when I want to carry the best gun, I have a tendency to carry this one. I shoot my shield really well. I shoot my bodyguard really well, but this one I shoot like a dream. Last year I was running a LAS concealment holster, and this year now I'm trying out this G-Code holster. G-Code contacted me and asked me if I wanted to try some holsters. This is the Phenom Commando, and I was out shooting with this last week and the week before, and I really, really like this holster. It's got the steel wing on it, and it has a really, really nice clip, so it's never going to come out of your belt. It also has a super high sweat guard, which I don't really use as a sweat guard. I like a high sweat guard in the winter because the back of my slide and manual safety get really cold in the winter, and I don't want that touching my belly. Even though I got fur down there, it's not enough fur to make sure I'm not cold. So the high sweat guard is really nice in the cold. On top of that, the holster has a really good competition style cut on the front of it, which allows me to get the gun out just a little bit quicker and a little bit faster. Overall, I'm a pretty big fan of it. And again, we have a code for these if you're interested. I have one for my bodyguard and I have one for my CS. So big fan of the holster. As far as the gun goes, I would say probably the only con of this is going to be the price. As I mentioned before, it's very, very expensive, but it does have a grip safety, which I actually do like for appendix carry. It does have a manual safety, and that's something that some people like, some people won't. I grew up on the 1911, so that's not an issue. Has a rail for light as well, although I have not been running one, and I actually haven't even been carrying a spare magazine. I usually carry a spare magazine with the bodyguard because you only have 12 rounds of 380, but for whatever reason, probably just because it's bigger and more uncomfortable, I usually only carry one. I just wanted to talk about that, and then I also want to talk about a few other things I carry in the winter. Number one, you guys know this has never changed. I carry a Spyderco Endura 4. This is literally always on me. I mean, if I'm naked, this is on me. I just put it right in the butt crack. No, I'm kidding. This thing I use so much, and sometimes this is a crowbar, sometimes this is a screwdriver. This thing is super useful. It's definitely a multi-tool without being a multi-tool. Now, what I like about it over a multi-tool is A, it's very thin, very lightweight. B, it has enough blade to get the job done. I like to have a 4-inch blade because if I have to, you know, reach something I want to reach, let's say, it has enough blade to get me there. Now, small knives like karambit and stuff, they really work well for self-defense. They're extremely good cutters, stuff like that. But I want one that can not only cut, but also stab. Historically, stabbing is significantly more, how do I want to say this? Reliable. It's a reliable stop. So I like to have at least a 4-inch blade. But overall, I like this because the clip fits really well. And I often carry this on my left pocket and my gun on my right in case somebody gets a hold of my gun or my gun hand, or in case they have a hold of my right wrist. I have a backup weapon to deploy. That's always been a system I used even back in the day when I used to do police combatives. I just really like to have another option. Now, you might carry this strong side and that's fine, but I like to have a weapon for both hands if I need one. Now, the last thing I carry is I did want to mention I do carry a shit ton of medical supplies, but I don't carry them on me. I don't walk around with a backpack full of shit all day. They're in my truck along with tons of tourniquets, magazines. I also have a rifle in there, and I do have, like I said, a ton of medical supplies. I've been CPR and first aid certified for 2 decades. I was a electrical line clearest arborist. I have tons of medical training, and I have used that way more than I've ever used my self-defense training. And on top of that, what I also carry with me is my big ass. And that's one thing I should also mention, that you should not just have a firearm, you should train with it. And you should not just train with your firearm, you should train your body as well, because there's many places that you can take your body that you can't take your firearm. Federal buildings, planes to another country, that kind of thing. So if you can and you do have the physical ability, always make sure that you do at least work out, have some cardio to run away, and also have some martial arts training. It's good to have options. Now, whatever martial arts training you do, that's your choice. I would recommend having some striking, some grappling. You want to choose in Kempo, karate, and judo, you can do that. If you want to choose sambo and boxing, you can do that. If you want to do Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu, go ahead and do that as well. Anything on the feet a little bit in case you're fighting multiple opponents, and anything on the ground a little bit in case you want to subdue somebody and you don't want to hurt them too bad, you want to submit them, or you just want to get top control and make sure you win the fight, you can do that as well. Grappling, striking, handgun, medical supplies, usually pretty good to go with that combination. Oh, and the last thing you're going to want to do is probably be able to run a little bit. Now, I know what you're saying, you don't need to run, you know jiu-jitsu, you got a gun, but my thought about this was I've usually ran to things as opposed to from things. My wife's in trouble, there's a mugger down the street, or maybe your daughter's in the street and you have to run and go grab her before a car runs them over. It's always a good idea, especially if you're a sheepdog, to be able to have a little bit of cardio if you can. If you're injured, I get it. I've had multiple knee surgeries. I've had a bad back for 2 decades. I've had a broken neck. I understand that it's hard to move sometimes, so if you can't, I get it. But if you can, make sure and get out there and be able to do just a little bit of cardio, because that's the #1 rule of Zombieland after all. So overall, it's just my winter carry. Wanted a little bit of update since people asked me. I was shooting this gun in a video the other day. You guys asked me what it was. Here it is. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please support your Oklahoma shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.
What'd you say?
I said you look cute in your little snowsuit.
Is that so?
Rip and punch, right? It's too long.
So
because as soon as you rip, I'm gonna punch. So you have to do it the same motion. So rip, punch.
Okay.
So if I go, there you go. See how much faster that was?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
See? And then I'll back off and then you run.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There you go. See, though? That's what you do. You get out. You know what I mean? Okay.